Yes.
Now, with the issue of seeking permission from the IGP to hold a crusade is wrong. There are people who, some of us are far away from Kampala. Now, if you tell me that I have to first seek permission to go to the IGP to hold a crusade, there are so many bureaucracies. The process is too long to reach the IGP, get the endorsement for the crusade to happen. Because if I want to hold a crusade, I sit a meeting with the church administration. We make arrangements and we agree on the dates and the place and everything. So if I write a letter to the IGP, by the time I get the response, it could come late or it could come with other implications that we never budgeted for. So I request that the IGP gives the mandate to the DPCs. It is easier for me to go to the DPC, write them a letter and tell them I have a crusade, or to the OC stations. It is easier that way, not through the IGP. IGP is a bigger office. Now, if we say that the IGP also begins handling issues to do with crusades, I think we are messing up everything. So before a member of parliament implements a law in parliament, it is important and imperative that they come on the ground, discuss with the leaders of different fraternities that lead different churches, so that we can have a clear understanding over issues and how things should run. Not just calling us and tell us now there is this law, for instance, the Public Management Order Bill. It was already implemented, and now we didn't know. Finally, I would like police to be neutral. When you're implementing the laws that you've been given to implement, be neutral. We have people in this country that are untouchable, not in the name of the church, but in the name of people who own bars. I personally, in Kasangalabi, we have a person who has a bar. The bar is called Shina Bar. I wrote to NEMA. Never responded to our case. During lockdown in 2021, when churches were still closed, bars were functioning. If you've been called that a bar is making noise, don't take bribes. For us, we used to call the police. Police would come, arrest a person, and then they go with him up to somewhere. The person pays the money, and they are released. And this continued over and over and over again.
Assistant Inspector of Police Mukono, heading Environmental Police of Mukono District. The reason why we came here today at Lebanon Christian Church Center is to sensitize the pastors about noise pollution, which has of recent become a problem to the communities. The good thing, we have had all the talks, the sensitization was well coordinated. We had the Senior Environment Office of Mukono Municipality, we had the Senior Environment Office of the district, we had church leaders, all of them, we had them here, and we have had a good meeting. We have sensitized them about our laws, of course the National Environment Act, the noise regulation of 2009, and we hope for the best cooperation. Actually, about the bars, we had 3 weeks back, we had a meeting with the bar people, bar owners, and we also agreed with them what they are supposed to do. Of course, the church, even around the world, they know that Sunday is a worship day. Sunday is a worship day, so we don't expect somebody to call saying there is noise pollution when it's a Sunday. We need to agree, and at least we know even on our calendars, it is a Sunday, is a worship day. During the day, meanwhile, not night. During the day. So that one really, we are human beings also. We know that Sunday is a worship day. So for Sundays, it's really exclusive.
Afande, you better clarify on that. When is it pollution? When is it noise pollution? Is it on specific days? Is it
noise pollution is when you emit noise above the permissible noise levels, regardless of the day.
Now why are you giving them Sunday?
Are within the National Environment Act. The Act specifies when the noises are high and when the noises are low. Of course, they are designated, like we have taught them. The schedule shows in industrial, residential, mixed commercial areas. So we have the permissible noise levels. Beyond those permissible noise levels, it is noise pollution. I would want to be clear that on Sundays, these churches are enclosed. On that, we agreed that the machines are supposed to be inside church, unless it's a crusade which is permitted. So on Sundays, with the communities, they all know. And I believe nobody can come on Sunday during daytime, to complain about noise pollution.
After the sensitization, what's next?
Of course, we shall keep monitoring the situation. Like I said there, if we don't get a complaint from the community, the neighborhood, we presume everything is okay. But we also would love to hear that everything is okay. And of course, the pastors, they have agreed. At least I have hopes that we are going to get things moving.
Afandi, you have been making various engagements with the different stakeholders. But still, we are still hearing and passing by megaphones on churches mainly, making a lot of noise during night hours, evening hours. When are you starting the monitoring and enforcement of these laws?
The monitoring and enforcement of laws, we have been here. We are now 11 years as environmental police, and we have been doing the monitoring and enforcement actually. We have cases ongoing. After engagements, all the stakeholders being involved, we have cases, those who have failed to comply to the laws. We have done our best and prosecutions have gone on. We have convictions. Yes. Maybe I can send now as in general security, that is the public order management bill. It stipulates very well that you have to inform the IGP. We as local police, we only get orders about that. But on noise pollution, we handle it on the ground level. Because it starts from the ground, the neighbors, the ground. But on the public order management bill, you have to write to the IGP for permissions and the hierarchy.
I'm the Senior Environment Officer for Mukono and the Resident Inspector for NEMA.
Yes, the born-again churches are citing some witch hunt. They are saying bars are operating, concerts are, but why the churches?
You see, we have engaged quite a number of stakeholders. We started with bars, and then places of entertainment. Then we engaged the council on Tuesday, and now today we're engaging the born-again churches across the entire district. And we are telling them that the law is there, the provision of the law that supports their activities, at the same time that regulates the activities in terms of operation areas, in terms of operation hours, and activities that are exempted by law, and those which are supposed to be regulated by law. So we are telling them that there are known hotspots which have to be regulated and the impact of the activity to the community.
Yes, okay, this I think will go to police. So, but they are saying that even the Bible, Jesus was not regulated as he was preaching. Then why now? And why were they not contacted for their input when the law was being done?
Of course, there are two things we need to appreciate. One, our duty is to enforce the law the way it is. But it is also our duty to sensitize them. Today we are doing sensitization. We are not causing arrest. We are not causing stop. But we are telling them the law provides for this and you have to implement it using this way. Yes, it is true, Jesus was not interrupted, but we are telling them that the law was enacted, the regulation was enacted in 2003 after realizing that noise is a big issue that is challenging our community or our society. Maybe during Jesus' time, noise was not an issue that is challenging the society then. But now, since it is there, as a community, as a society, we have to regulate it. And we're using these means of sensitizing and creating awareness before we cause impounding and arrest of the people.
So at the moment, no implementation has not been done. You're still in the sensitization bit of it.
Of course, we pick on one by one. depending on complaints. Remember, we receive quite a number of concerns or complaints from the community. So we pick on one by one as they come. But since we have realized that it is a big issue, now we are calling the common culprits to tell them that people, this is what is happening, and we are recognizing that you are the biggest contributor. Please tone down, reduce on what you're generating and what you're impacting.
Yes, to those that will not abide by what you are telling them.
Yes, first of all, we have a noise meter, and what we do to those who are not abiding by the law, of course we take them on, we engage them, and of course the final thing is we have had cases which have been to court, and myself have stand before the judge in the dock to defend the law as somebody who is there to implement the law.
Like how many cases?
In Mukono, so far I've handled over 4 cases. Yeah.
Talk about the success.
Of course, one, it was successful. Then the second one, of course, people negotiate along the way and they find a amicable solution.
What are the penalties?
The penalty is, of course, it depends. It is on the discretion of the judge, the presiding judge, to decide on what to give.
Let's talk
But
about
the law could be okay.
Of the noise meter.
I'm Pastor Kamia James from Rugazi. I pastor a church called Set Free Christian Life Church. So that's it.
Oh, yes, tell us about today's engagement.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
Today's meeting was good because it was good because it was explaining the law which has been already implemented and passed on in the parliament. I think in 2000 the law was passed. So they were kind of informing the pastors about the law, what the law says, what's to be done to follow the law in the proper way. I think the church I think the church top leaders, they have not done enough to educate the pastors and the local church leaders about the law. But this law, it does not segregate the church from the bars. The law is the same. It targets the bars, everybody. It targets everybody, but not only the church. So there is a need to teach the church leaders about the law, to explain to them what the law says, and to remove something which is in their heart, that this law targets them. So it doesn't target the church only. It targets everybody.
yakulira nema mu kitundu kino ffe mwe tutudde olwaleero. Njagala okukozesa olulimi luno zensabye ekisa kya Katonda wano zammwe zonna esinga obungi zeetegereza ate nzimanyi bulungi. Feesi y'onyuma ebikola okusinga ku ekyo ky'obadde okola, era ogenda kukola ebyamaanyi okusinga ku ebyo by'obadde okola ki ekyalwakutaano.
Nyanzibye bulijjo okunyereriza mu nange amanya bakita Basengere George, nze resident inspector wa NEMA mu Mukono. Bannange bekola nabo mwabiruta ya protection force naye natandikidde oba solution fetugirina ate mutuukidde tubadde nga intana sobola okubanga tukunulyola ensonga kubanga ekizimba kinaatera okusamba eddagala permissible noise levels etteeka liraga wano njogera etteeka tetubaana kuba tulina sawundi eno yateekebwawo tulina okuba nti kuliko abuzeeko omukungu abannyonnyodde nti yeyayise oluki wali twagadde twengejinge twogere
sawa mwenda ebitabuka
watu yasimye omulundi guno kiri wali kumuza isukulu bannakyagwe ffe tulidde empanga bannakyagwe tubakubiriza isangate yakisangate kya Nnaabagereka mama Nnaabagereka